small. I was thinking like maybe a little bit of green here. Then we can bring some grass in. I want it to be like it's hard to explain what kind of green I'm looking for. So I am going to add a little bit of blue to my yellow that I have over here. I'm going to pull some of it over. I think this is a good green to go for, like more a yellow green and not a bright summer green. I mean, this is more like a faded green. So I'm gonna go with this green. I'm just gonna put this back up there. Let's see what we have here. This might still be too yellow. I might need a little bit more of the green, but this will be good for the background, and then I can put like a little bit of a brighter green on top. And sometimes when I do grass or even leaves, I like to put a yellow underneath, and then I put the green on top, and I will show you why when I finish this up. I'm just trying to get some kind of background here. So I am going to mix a little bit more. See, and already this is like a much darker green than what I have over here. This is more what I think I was going for here. Like an olive green. Now that I see it, I can name it. Because I want the grass to go a little bit over the pumpkins. I just want something in the back there. So now for the pumpkins, I thought I can go more like an orangey color for this one, but these need to be a different color. So maybe a brighter yellow or a brighter mustard. Let me see. Where's my paint? See, like this one, I made this very orange. This was like a mustard, and there I have a yellow. So maybe I can do something that's about the same kind of thing. I like to don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. This brush should be able to do it. See some white spots there that I want to cover up. Okay, so what did I just say? Orange over here. I'm gonna go with those like more a yellow color. I'm gonna need some white to cover that brown. So my paint water is still dirty, because especially the yellow is so transparent. So I'm just there where I went with the brown, I'm just covering that with a little bit of white, so I can put the yellow on top of that. And you will see now I'm going to mix my yellow with this white, so I'm getting a very light yellow over here. And while I'm busy with this pumpkin, I'm just going to shade it also. I'm thinking maybe just use, I don't know, like this mustard color. Or would it be too much red? So I'm just going to put it on half of my brush. And then I'm going to try and come around. And just come around there. Put it on half again, and I'm just putting it around the circle there. So usually I will start with the outside one. Hard because this brush is a little wide. I'm gonna get this one is too dry. That's enough for this pumpkin. So now I'm going to add some of this brown to that, because I now want a little bit more of a mustard color for there. So I'm just going to where I had this yellow and white mixture, and I'm just trying to make it more a little bit of a darker color. I can even put a little bit of a red there. I don't want it too red. I definitely want it darker, maybe get some of the dark. I don't know if you can see the difference between the two. This is more like a butternut color. And we can even go a little darker. So I basically use this gnome for a lot of stuff. You will see I paint like the 4th of July with this gnome. So I just need it on the side of my brush over there. And I need it to go down there. With painting and art and stuff like this, it's all practice. Like any hobby, you have to be willing to practice and do stuff wrong. And sometimes watching other people do stuff helps a little bit. But then also you have to train your eye when you paint and color and stuff. And if you want to draw, you start looking at stuff differently. If you have it in mind that you're going to have to draw that or make that, you try and look at stuff differently. Okay, so that one I said is going to be orange, but now I don't have yellow. Let's get some yellow out here. The yellow can just go there. So I want it to be, but I want it to be a bright orange, not a. And you don't need to highlight it, you can just paint it like paint by number. Just paint the whole thing. Once you put the lines on, it brings out your picture a lot. and it makes a big difference. Even if you go over the lines a little bit and things like that, it doesn't look bad. And that's an acorn at the end of the hat. And you can just paint the whole one, and then we'll put the shell on. So that's what I'm going to do over here also. I'm just going to paint the whole one. Now how you have the bottom part and the top part. So the top part should be a darker. I had a very thin, oh yes, my thinner brushes, okay. The top of the, I'm just going to go with the brown that I have here. Let's see. Yeah, these make a little, I will take pictures so you can see. So I don't know if I bring, even if I bring it close to the camera. Oops, let's go slow. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm showing you, but hopefully you do. So I do a lot of stuff like that. I would paint leaves and then scratch. So for the leaves, I do them in yellow underneath, put green on top, and then I scratch them. Like the veins on the leaves. You scratch out and it gives it some kind of definition. And you can do this in acrylic paint also. If you put, but the paint have to be wet when you scratch it away. Can't try and scratch it now when it's all dry. And if you don't like the way it looks, you just paint it again and it goes away. Okay, so that's that for now. I think I'm good over here. I need a little bit of darkness over there. And I need the stems of the pumpkins, which also needs to be the brown now. Gonna get some yellow here. See what I can mix up with the blue that I have there. I don't think it's dark enough. I'm just putting a little bit of black with it. I can put blue with it also to make it a darker brown. You almost want it to look like a star, something like that, not just round. So something like, I don't know, I can't even see it nicely. Needs to be painted, except we want to put the green grass down, yeah, and then of course we want to make like little tools and stuff up there. So I want my yellow. And you can see, so when I opened it this morning, this is 2 ounces. There's more than that. I would say like I used 3/4 of an ounce. The blue, very little used. I mean, I used the blue basically to make the brown and now to make the green. And also you don't want to pull all of it into one place. You want some of it to go over each other like this. And if you use a lot of paint, it makes almost like Every brush stroke is like 3 little strokes. And because this is so green, I'm not going to worry too much about this. I just wanted to break the basic green up a little bit. See, I go this way and then I'll just bring one over like that to the... Don't do it like eyelashes. They don't all look the same way. They're not all the same length. We just want an idea. And you can also always come in between, and if there's like a thick line of paint, you can always scratch some of it away with the back of the brush. Okay, I think that's enough. I tend to overdo stuff. So I always force myself to stop before I'm really done. So for the lines, you can use a paintbrush. So I want to make like little twirly lines. You can use a paintbrush. You can use a Sharpie to outline it. You can use these little bottles with the sharp points. So I don't paint with the paint that comes in these bottles because it's the plastic paint that lies on top, but you can totally use it if you're just going to draw lines, and that's where I draw a line. No further painting with it, just lines. So I do buy like these bottles with like gold and glitter in and things. So I'm mixing the gold with this brown that I have left here. It will still be metallic and shiny, but it's going to be darker. It's not going to be so yellow. So I just want to make, you know, like pumpkins have these little swirls. It's not working. I need a lot more water. So you can paint those with a liner brush. The gold Sharpie that I have. I mean, it shows brown. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that. And I'm going to show you, if this line is very crooked and you can see imperfections and you want to hide it, all you do is you go around like this. You make like little squirrelies over it. And it totally breaks up the line. You just have to commit to going. So if you want to use a Sharpie, you have to wait for everything to be dry. I know I didn't paint there today or tonight, so I knew that part would be dark. And you can see the Sharpie, even with making these twirly things, if I put one there, it's much easier than trying to paint it. And you can use a black Sharpie or the black. Let me do the black on here a little bit so you can see like the lines. It just brings a little bit of definition out. I'm not putting the Sharpie everywhere. When you make something like the checkered lines I try to make here, I would put a line, but just, you know, there where that shade is just on the one side, and it creates a total different effect. Sometimes I'll do a whole background like this effect, just to make it look different and not just paint it plain like I did the brown in the back here. To show you different options. This is my liner bottle. They're very old, but they work exactly the same as these bottles. The thing is, like, it has to have a little nozzle and it needs to be soft so you can control how much pressure you put on it, how much paint comes out. The only thing is, like, if you paint with the liner bottles, you have to clean its nose. Otherwise it makes little blobs when it starts. So acorn, make the point. So at least we can pick them up where they were attached to the branch. There we go. And now for the, you can do a little bit of, but I don't want to put brown in his moustache right now. There's the shoe. And a little bit more there on the sole. And we're going to give him shoelaces a little bit. There we go. Now this pumpkin I'm also going to come up. And I'm going to come around. With these bottles it takes practice. And it doesn't need to be perfectly on the line. You can also break it up. It doesn't need to be everywhere. You can do it in little bits and pieces. And I'm gonna go over these that I made, just so that you can see them better. And when it's dry, I would even come back and put some glitter on these if needed. There we go. Maybe I should put my name on it. And that's my painting for tonight. I hope you enjoyed painting with me.